Today we'll go through the Ashtanga Yoga Primary Series.
Inhale. Om. Vande Guranam Charanada Vinde Sandara Shita Swatpa Sukhava Bodhe Nishreyase Jangali Kayamone Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shidasam Shvetam Pranamani Patanjalim. Om. And you bring your hands down by your side, standing at the top of your mat. Now sweep your arms up overhead. Nice long spine, looking up at those thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, bending your knees as much as you need to while we warm up. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe coming up on your fingertips. And exhale, stepping back and lowering down to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Bending your knees as much as you need to, letting your spine release first. Sending those sit bones up towards the ceiling. We're here for 5 breaths. And we're breathing with sound with our Ujjayi breathing. After the 5th breath, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or float your feet to your hands, landing with a flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, pushing through our feet, sweeping our arms up overhead, reaching up, looking at those thumbs. And exhale, hands back to your side. We're doing this 5 times. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, going back to chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, feet to hands, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, all the way up to stand. Look up at those thumbs. And exhale, hands back to your side. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Should start to be warming up. And on the 5th breath, bend your knees. Inhale, coming forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, going back and lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths. Exhaling, bending your knees. Inhale, float forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down to your side, Samasthiti. Okay, let's add the Sanskrit counting. Ekam, inhale, reach up. Dve, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, halfway lift. Chatwari, go back. Pancha, inhale, upward facing dog. Shot, exhale, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sapta. Inhale. Feet to hands flat back. Ashta. Fold. Nava. Inhale. Arms rise. And Samastiti. And now we're moving into Surya Namaskara B. So bending your knees, reaching your arms up, coming into Utkatasana chair pose. This is inhale. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So right away, coming into warrior one on the right side. So there's no leg lift. You're just down dog. Inhale, step that foot forward. Come on up. Exhale. Right away, hand comes back down to the mat. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, left side, no leg lift. Just come on in, stepping forward, pivoting that leg. Inhaling, coming up. And exhale, right away. Hands down to the mat, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And we're 5 breaths here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, float forward, landing with the flat back. Exhale, folding forward, and then coming back into chair pose, squatting down. Inhale, arms rise, up, and then we just straighten our legs, bring our hands down to our side. Samastiti. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale, Utkatasana. Dve, exhale, folding forward. Trini, inhale, halfway lift. Chatwari, chaturanga. Pancha, inhaling, upward facing dog. Shot, exhale, downward facing dog. Sapta, step forward. Inhaling, coming up. Ashta, stepping back, lowering down. Nava, inhale, upward facing dog. Dasha, downward facing dog. Ekadasha, step forward. Coming in, up to warrior one, left side. Dvadasha, hands down to the mat, lowering down. Trayodasha, inhale, upward facing dog. Chaturdasha, downward facing dog. And we're here for 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, so that was, Panchadasha, 15. Floating to your hands, flat back, Shodasha, exhale, fold. Saptadasha, sitting down, arms rise, and hands down to your side. Again, Ekam, inhale. Dve, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, lift up. Chatwari, chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward facing dog. And shot, exhale, downward facing dog. Sapta, right foot steps forward. Arms rise, that's an inhale. And 8 Ashta. Go back, lower down. Nava, inhale, upward facing dog. And 10, Disha, downward facing dog. 11, Ekadasha, step forward. Inhale, come on up. Devadasha, hands back down to the mat. Leg low, goes back, lowering down. Trayodasha, 13, inhale, upward facing dog. And Chaturasha, 14, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Panchadasha, inhale, come forward, landing flat back. Shodasha, exhale, fold, and Saptadasha, coming into chair pose, and back to Samasthiti. Your hands to your side, inhale, hop your feet forward. Right away, go down, grab your big toe with your first 2 fingers and your thumb. Inhale here, and exhale, folding forward, dropping your head down. Releasing the spine, nice long spine. We're here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, keep a hold of those toes. Halfway lift. Exhale here. And then slide your hands, palms up to the soles of your feet, underneath your feet. Inhale here. And exhale, folding forward, Pada Astasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here. Bring your hands to your hips on your next inhale. Come all the way up to stand. Step your feet together, coming back into Samasthiti. Uttita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. I'm going to step out to the right about 3 feet, facing the long edge of your mat, and your arms are spread wide. Then on the exhale, you turn your toes towards the back end of your mat, reaching forward and bring the left arm up towards the sky. Here for 5 breaths, looking up at those fingers. It's okay to bring them forward if you can't see them. You don't want to tweak your back. 1, 2, strong legs if you can, lifting up out of the pose. 3, 4, and 5. Look down. Inhale, long, strong legs move you up, coming through center. And on the exhale, you bring your hands down, grabbing for your toe or your ankle or your shin or a block, looking up at those fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming on up, coming through to the side, and moving around for the revolve version of Trikonasana. Bring your left hand down to the outside of that right foot, leveling out your hips, and coming around, maybe looking up, those fingers up in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look down, pushing into those legs, coming on up, windmilling around, and bringing your right hand down to the outside edge of that left foot. Try not to fall out of the pose by engaging your pelvis, your low belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Finding your legs. Inhale. Come on up. Face the side briefly and then back to Samasthiti. And now we step out again to the right, this time a little bit longer, maybe like 5 feet, 5 of your feet. On the exhale, we turn our toes towards the back end of our mat. Bend this knee. We're coming into extended side angle or Utthita Parshvanasana. And your hand's going to come down to wherever it comes. Maybe it's the thigh, coming into the pose. Sending that sacrum towards the wall ahead. 1, rooting into that back leg. 2, looking up at the underside of your hand. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, strong legs bring you up. You rotate around to the other side, and on the exhale, right into the pose. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming on up and around for B. Now, if this is all new to you, find my half primary series video and that'll break it down a little bit slower. Coming into it, 1, looking up at that hand. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, coming up, around to the other side, and exhale. Right away, we're in the pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Strong legs. Inhale, stopping at the side, back to Samasthiti. Now we step out for Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands at your hips. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat, looking up halfway, and then exhale, folding forward. 1. This is A. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here. Hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Exhale, hands back to your hips. Inhale, nice long spine again, and then hinging at the hips. Exhale, fold. Keeping your hands right where they are, hanging down, releasing the spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale here. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, long spine, long arms. And exhale, hinging at the hips, folding forward, dropping those hands down over your head. 1, not forcing. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale here, inhale. Hands on your hips, nice long spine. And exhale, folding forward, grabbing your big toes with your first 2 fingers and your thumb. Looking up, and then exhale, folding forward, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, once again, halfway lift. Exhale here. Hands to hips. Inhale, come up all the way. And step back to Samasthiti. Parsvottanasana. So we're going to step out to the right, but we're going to bring our hands into reverse prayer behind your back. Or, remember the option was to grab your elbows. You're going to step out. Maybe about the same distance as your extended triangle. Making that nice length in your spine, and then on your legs. Exhale, folding forward, trying to keep your pelvis nice and level. 1, 2, looking at the toes. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, pushing through the legs, rotating around, and on the exhale, folding forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come on up. Yep, we turn to the side. You can release your hands and then back to the top of your mat. All right, warning, I am not very balanced. All right, so you're gonna find your balance on this left leg. Find a gazing point straight ahead. And ideally, your legs are straight. They come up and you can grab your toe. I don't know how people do that. But, okay. And if you fall out, no big deal. You just go back into it. All right. So you can stay here. You can extend your leg. You can bow forward if you want. That's the full expression of the pose. You're here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift your head up. Exhale, bring your leg out to the right. Your gaze over your left shoulder, trying not to fall out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, bring your leg back in front to center. Exhale, fold forward, chin to shin. Exhale, head lifts. And you bring your hands to your hips. And you have your leg up as high as you can lift it. For 1, 2, strong standing leg. 3, 4, and 5. Whew. All right, other side, right away. You just float it up, grab that toe. Okay. Let's see how this leg's gonna be today. All right, exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, leg goes out to the side. All right, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, back cracking. And 5. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to your hips. Extend that leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're coming into Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. All right, so it is a half lotus. Your right leg comes into this hip crease. And if you remember from my other video, you have options of figure 4, either bringing both hands to the mat or not, or grabbing for this toe and maybe folding forward. Looking at those toes, we're here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. And then inhale, coming all the way up, waiting for the teacher to say exhale, and you release your leg. And you go to the other side. Inhale, you prepare. You can always grab here. And then you're folding forward. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. I'm going to come back to the top of my mat where you are. And you're in Samasthiti, and you're coming into your chair pose. But we're doing the vinyasa, the full vinyasa first. So inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, look up those thumbs. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or foot back to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, bend your knees. Float your feet forward, feet together. Coming right into chair pose. Sitting down low. Reaching your arms up. Looking up at those thumbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your hands down to your mat. Inhale, find a balance there. And then go back to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, coming into warrior 1. Right foot steps forward. Left foot pivots. We're coming up for 5 breaths this time. Looking up at those thumbs. Trying to level out our pelvis. We're here for 1, 2, strong back leg, strong front leg, 3, 4, and 5. Straighten that right leg, rotating around, trying to keep your gaze on your thumbs, and we're coming in to warrior 1 on the left side. Again, strong legs, level pelvis, looking up at those thumbs. 1, nice long spine. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now open up into warrior 2 without moving your feet. Looking out over your left middle finger. 1, 2, 3. Weight even on both legs. 4. Nice long spine, tall. And 5. Now straighten that left leg. Turn your feet. Coming around to warrior 2 on the right side. All right, we're settling in. Finding our strong legs, rooting into the outside edge of that left foot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We bring our right hand down to the mat. We windmill our left hand down to the mat. And you either step back to your chaturanga or you can float up to a handstand if that's in your practice. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then we coming through. Nice L with our body. Gazing out over our nose. 1. Strong legs. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now just take your arms out. Grab for those big toes. Again, bending your knees if you need to. Honoring your back and your hamstrings. So it's an inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Nice long spine, not rounded. 1, 2, sending the energy out through our arches forward. 3, 4, gazing towards our toes. And 5. Inhale, holding on to our toes, halfway lift here. Exhale here, and then change your grip to either the outside of your feet or clasping your wrist. Once again, inhale, find that little nice long spine, and then exhale, fold forward, chin towards your shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Now we're going to cross our legs at our shins or our ankles. Inhale, lifting up, stepping or floating back, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And right away, coming back through to seated for Purvottanasana. So remember, you have 2 options. You have a reverse tabletop. This is a modification that's totally acceptable. Or your legs go straight. Your arms are behind you. Inhale, lifting up for 5 breaths. 1, 2, trying to send those hips up towards the ceiling. 3, reaching your toe mounts to the mat. 4, and 5. All right. Once again, crossing our feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Lowering down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. If you have a yoga rug, it makes the moving back and forth in your jump backs and your jump throughs, even if they're not very floaty, makes it a little bit easier to slide in and out. And as your mat gets sweaty, it also absorbs the sweat. So we're here, crossing forward and sliding through. All right, you get back into your view. The next pose is just like that standing pose. You're going to bring the outer edge of this right foot into your hip crease and do what you did in standing. So if you're in figure 4, you're going to be in figure 4 here, and you're just going to lift forward. And it is okay to bend your knee. It's advisable if your hamstrings are super tight. Okay, so maybe you're grabbing this toe. Grab the outer edge of this foot, trying to get the foot not like that, right? You don't want it off to the side, nice and straight. And folding forward. 1, 2, looking towards those toes. 3, 4, and 5. Halfway lift. Exhale here. And then just slide that leg down. Pull it in. Inhale. And exhale. Go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And right away jump through. Prepare for the other side. So, honoring the differences between your 2 sides. Bringing that hand around if you can. Straightening this leg. Hello, straighten. Grabbing this outside edge. Okay, inhaling. And exhale, fold forward. Chin towards your shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Right away, bring it in. Up. Exhale back. Inhale. And exhale. And come on through. Now you can jump straight into this pose, or you can jump through like I did and fold your right leg back into it's like a half hero pose, right? Okay, you're reaching this pinky toe down towards the mat. to keep that foot, as much of that foot in contact with the mat as you can. This is one of those poses where you tend to be like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, falling over to the side. But you're trying to root down into both sit bones. Now, if you can't get that sit bone down, if this knee is hurting, you can put a little cushion, a block, something to lift you up and kind of decrease that angle in this knee. All right, so we're trying to root into both hip bones. You're going to lean over to this side, so you're going to try and root into this foot and this hip. As you come forward, clasping wherever you clasp, bringing your chin towards your shin for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale here. And then what you can do is you can just bring your hands to your mat. Maybe tuck those toes, maybe not. Step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here, I'll try and show you how you jump straight into it. So inhale, coming into the pose like that, all right? I'm not so graceful, but that's not what it's about. It's not about the shapes, it's about the journey to the shapes. Okay, rooting into this sit bones, reaching your spine long, not rounding, right? Reaching, finding your grasp, straightening your foot, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Inhale, lift up, float back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And coming on through the seated for Shirshasana A. There's A, B, and C. So, sole of your right foot comes into your inner thigh. You've probably done this pose before. Finding the sit bones, tipping the pelvis so the spine can follow. Nice long spine. Getting your clasp. And exhale, fold forward, 5 breaths. 1, 2, gazing at those toes or towards those toes. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here, and then you bring it in. I'm trying to hit the brakes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, coming back through for the other side. Right away, getting your clasp. And exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Tuck it all in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come on through for B. Okay, I'm going to slide back because I want to make sure I'm in your view. So, it starts out just like Shirshasana A. And once you try this, when you get on you're going to sit on your heel. Okay, it's not all that comfortable. It sort of reminds you to lift your pelvic floor. And it's like a few of the poses in the Ashtanga Yoga sequence. It's one of those where you're like, why are we doing this? But it opens the hip in a different way. So if you can do it, it's good to take it on. Okay, so you're going to lean forward, lifting up, bringing that heel up into your perineum. Toes are pointing straight ahead. And you're going to kind of settle this hip down, coming into the pose, honoring your hamstring, whatever you need to do, and folding forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. And then you can come off of it. Collect it all up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, come on through for the other side. So if you're doing a traditional count, it moves like super quick. So you're trying to keep that breath coming into it. All right, if you're there, exhale, lower down. We're here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. All right. Come on out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come on through to seated. Now you might notice that I'm kind of lingering in my upward facing dog. Whether you linger, you do want to extend your inhale as long as you can and take advantage of those. There are many back bends, so take advantage of that counterpose to all these forward folds that we're doing, because there really are back bends in the primary series, but they're very minimal if you make them minimal, so don't shortchange yourself. Okay, back to the sequence. Janusharshasana C. You're going to bring your leg in like this, like a figure 4. The knee is bent. You're sending it out to the side. You're going to take this right hand, reach it underneath, grab for these toes. Okay, this is another weird one. It's also another one that sitting on a block will help you get the right angle for this foot, because it's kind of unique. I like to keep my toes together because otherwise they get kind of, so this knee does not have to go to the ground, and you'll notice mine does not. But you want your heel to be upright if you can get it there. Hello. Okay. And you're pushing the arch into this thigh, and you're going to reach forward. Now it's okay to stay up here and just breathe here, but do reach your sternum forward, reaching out here. Okay, I'm going to start the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. All right. Come on out. We can even massage our toes. That's not part of the practice. All right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming on through. And yeah, right away you're going into the pose because they're already starting to count, maybe, depending on who your teacher is. And this is in the lead. Obviously in the Mysore practice, it's a little bit slower. So you'll see this hip is not as open. We've got some interesting anatomy I'm working with. The curve in my spine. All right, here we are. Exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here. All right, come on out. Let's give these toes some love too. That's the last of the Janusharsanas. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And coming on through for the Marichiasanas. So, Marichiasana A, gonna bring this foot in. The knee is up towards the ceiling, as you see. And it's as if I could like stand up on this foot. I've got space here between my sit bone and my heel, and I have space here. And the reason why you want space in A and B is because you're going to try and get in here with your body. If everything's pulled way in, it's a little harder to get around. So give yourself some space. So you're going to come in here. Now, when I'm really trying to get that length in my spine, I grab this foot and I find the length here. And then I bring my arm around. Using my adductors, I bring that knee in towards my body and I root down into this foot, turning my hand. Now, the back of my hand is up against, well, it's up against my thigh, not my back, but sometimes it's behind my back. This hand is going to come around and I'm going to reach for my fingers, my wrist, whatever I can grab. If you don't have the ability to do that, you can use a towel, you can use a fork, you can use this like sand diving ring, and you can use that to kind of connect up. Okay, so let's come on in. Inhale, find the length, the long spine, and exhale, chin towards your shin, looking towards those toes. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. You guessed it. We're lifting up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Coming back through to seated. All right, other side. Taking that space. Reaching forward. Coming around. And getting whatever you're going to get. Are you ready? Exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Cross it in. Bring it in. Lift it up. Send it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And coming on through. Now we're going to do B. So you notice the pattern is right, left, right, left. What kind of throws people off is in B, the first thing you're going to move into place is your left side. Now, you bring this left foot into either a half lotus. If you don't have that, many people, even if you do have a half lotus, you're really getting in here. You might put your foot down here and then come in here. And it's the same thing as A. So you'll see it's my right arm that's doing it. Okay, so that's how you know you're on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and do the full pose. Coming in, bringing my heels. I still got that space because I still need to get on this side of my leg. Coming around. Finding it. Nice long spine. I'm reaching my sternum forward and then exhale, fold forward. Bring your chin towards the mat or your forehead towards the mat. You're gazing a little bit forward over your big, it's not my big nose, it's my nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. And then right away, slide that leg down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And coming on through to the other side. Right leg comes into position, wherever that position is. Bring the left leg in, reaching forward and around, getting your bind. Inhale, reach the sternum forward, and exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here. Bring it on down. Lift up. Go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come on through to seated. Okay, now C is a little different. C, you're not going to be coming on this side. You're going to be coming on this side. And you're going to be turning this way, okay? So because of that, your foot can come in closer. In fact, you want your foot to come in as much as your hip mobility, flexibility will allow, okay? So this knee, this leg is your friend. You want to be as close to it as you can, okay? You're not like this. If there's space, you're not going to get the pose. You'll have no hope of getting the bind. So this is your buddy. You're going to try and keep this foot somewhat on the mat, but you're going to slide. So I'm lifting a little bit on the edge, just initially sliding that knee off to the side. And you're going to turn your body this way. Now, you're going to try and get this elbow on the other side so that you can get the knee right in this armpit. So notice I don't have any space here at all. Now not everybody can get there, okay? But if you can, you're going to turn your palm facing there and you're just going to windshield wiper this hand around. I'm going to take this hand, reach back, grab those fingers, sit up, and look around to the back, okay? But, like I said, not everybody has that ability, so you can just close hanger this arm around and come around like this and take the pose. And you can use your hand to kind of act like an outrigger or a kickstand to help keep you from going way back here, because you still want to be connected in. And ideally your abdominal muscles are going to get strong through this practice, and that's what's going to keep everything pulling in so that you don't have to use that kickstand for the whole thing. You can let go so you can grab, right? All right, so wherever you're going, we'll come into the pose. All right, maybe you find your sit bone again, maybe not. 1, looking over your right shoulder. 2, 3, strong extended leg. 4, nice long spine. 5, turn your head back, looking towards those front toes. Go ahead and unwind it, okay? And then you pull this leg in, inhale, lift up. Okay, I don't have enough space. And go back, inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come on through. All right. We're doing the other side. Okay, now this is C. There is a D that gets even more intense. So take your time getting wherever you're going to get. Now I like to bring this over and get my body around, reaching that arm forward, getting my knee as much in the armpit as I can, and then windshield wipering around. All right. I'm going to start the count. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn your head back. Unwind. Pull that leg in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog or even cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back on through and sit down. Okay, so what's next in line is D. Just like B, you're going to bring your left leg in first for the right side. Now, if you had your leg under, your foot underneath, you're going to do that again. Even if you had your leg up here for B, you might need to put it down here while you gain this flexibility, because you're not going forward this time, you're coming around. Requires me to try and maneuver around this foot. And you want to honor where that ankle feels as well. So it's the same thing with your arm. You're still trying to get that bind. And you're here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's let it go. All right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step it back. Lower down. Inhale. And exhale. And jump on through. And take the other side. So left side, bring your right foot in. Pull in the left knee, get it in as close as you can. Reaching that knee towards midline, so you maybe leaning back just to get around that foot, but then coming forward. Okay, because you want to see if you can close this gap. So see, I can get my hand in here. I'm not going to get that bind with that space. All right, get it around. Reaching for those fingers. And that's all I got today. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let it all go. So when I say all I got, ultimately, I want to be on the sit bone with this knee grounded down here, because I know what's coming in the future in third series is going to require me to have done my work here. All of the series builds upon itself. And so if you don't do the work in primary, you're going to struggle in second. If you don't do the work in second, you're going to struggle in third. If you don't do the work there, then fourth, and depending on how far you get. And then as you age, you start losing your poses maybe, eventually. Inhale. Let's get that upward facing dog. Let's just linger here. And downward facing dog. Okay, so what's coming next is Navasana. It's a boat pose. You're going to jump through, and right away, you're going to lift up your feet and your hands, and you're going to sit and balance on the sit bone, okay? So, you can hold behind here if you need to. You can bend your knees if you need to. You can straighten. We're going to do 5, and in between each 5, we're going to lift up, and then we're going to go straight into it, okay? And it gets that core really working for what's coming after that. So it's a nice preparatory pose, but depending on how slow your teacher counts, sometimes it can feel like torture. All right, we're in down dog. Jump through, and you come straight into it, lifting up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, cross. I'm going to do left over right first. Inhale, lift my bum up. Ideally, lift everything up. Then you come straight into it again. For 1, 2, we're doing it 5 times. 3, 4, and 5. So that was left over right. I'm going to do right over left this time. Inhale, lift up. Put it down. Straighten out. Back into it. My legs are a little straighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Left over right. Inhale, lift up. All right. So my right foot didn't touch down, my left foot did. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right over left. This time, left feet off the ground. 1. This is the last one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross it in, lift up, and go back. Exhale, lower down. Let's go all the way down. All right. Upward facing dog. And I'm going to linger today. So, inhale. Here for a couple breaths. Let's lift those knees up off the mat. Strong feet. Reaching our chest forward. All right. Back into down dog. So we're going to leapfrog our feet to the outside of our hands. So exhale, bend your knees. Inhale. Step them forward. Okay. Now I like, especially if I'm learning, one thing you have to do is get your necklace out of the way because sometimes it prevents you from getting there. All right, so walk your feet in if you're having trouble getting down, and then try and get your calves over your shoulders, okay? Then you've got a little shelf with your chaturanga arms. Sit down on that shelf and lift your head up here. Now you can stay here and hold this and get used to this feeling, or you can lean back and maybe lift up one leg or the other leg and hold here. Now, if you've got that, the next thing you do is you cross your feet over each other. So after 5, you come back up and then you try and get your feet back into Bakasana and inhale, shoot back. Inhale, upward facing dog. All right, you might feel you need your upward facing dog here a little bit more. It's really just an inhale. Exhale. And now the next pose is Karmasana. And then comes Supta Karmasana. So, a towel, a stick. I have this, it's actually a sand-filled diving ring, like a swim toy. So I'm going to use this in case I can't grab my hands underneath, which I don't think I'm quite warmed up enough to do it today. So, again, if you haven't done this pose with your teacher in your Mysore practice, it's not a good idea to do it now. Coming through the same way, same shelf, okay? I like to lift up and then try and lower down. But either way, you can drop your butt down, your feet come down to the mat, you're going to slide your hands through and extend your legs. All right, so you're extending your legs and you're trying to get your knees as close to your shoulders as you can, okay? Your arms are stretching wide, low belly is definitely pulling in, pelvic is engaged, and maybe you engage your legs enough so that you lift up off the mat. And you can play around with flexing your feet, pointing your feet, feeling what that feels like. Finding that long spine. Okay, that was 5 breaths. Now you're going to come into Supta Karmasana. And this is where my little helper is good. So you're going to bring your hands down behind you. Trying to walk your feet in. All right, hello. So you're walking your feet in towards each other, trying to get your knees way up over your shoulders, okay? And then reaching back, seeing if you can grab your fingers. All right, I'm not going to fight with it today, so I'm just going to use this. All right, but I'm not done yet. The idea is that, not going to happen today, your feet are going to cross. All right, so ideally, hello, your feet are going to cross, right foot on top. Okay, so it's kind of like what we just did. So, if you're already in second series, another way to get into it is to sit up. Now in the lead practice, it's not really, you don't really have enough time to do this usually, but in your Mysore practice you might. So, if you're working on second series, left foot comes in first. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to happen today. I may lose it. Then your right tries to get back there. Ideally, my hand would be way down my leg to get that calf muscle around. All right. I think this is as good as it's going to get today. Then I lower down and reach back and try and grab it. All right, so we're here for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands come down to the mat and just lift up, come back into Bakasana, and then shoot back magically. Body's not telling, and lowering down. All right, that was not very graceful. Inhaling, upward facing dog. So you can imagine you're really crunching in here. All right, so let's just again linger. All right, exhale, downward facing dog, and then come on through to seated. All right, so those are some of the most intense poses in primary series. What's up next is a lotus. Now, if you don't have lotus, you can just fold your legs in and hug around, okay? Or you can do just one side. So, ideally, you're going to thread, I got a little water here. You're going to thread your hands through, okay? And in a lead primary, it is, sometimes the count is too fast to actually get there. It's not quite happening today. All right, so this hand, let's see if I can get it. All right, this hand should be all the way up here. All right, I'm not gonna keep you held here. So it's here, right? 1, 2, and you're just hugging the outside of your lotus, pulling it in, sitting up for 5. All right, so 3, 4, and 5. And then you're gonna round, and you're gonna rock around, depending on who you talk to. I think it used to be 9 poses, or 9 rolls. Now they count generally 5. So let's see if I can get around on 5. 1, 2, no, maybe not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right, and coming up into Cuckoo Chasana. All right, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So your hands could have been on the side. Now, ideally you're lifting up, rocking back, and just coming back into Chaturanga. I am just going to come forward, stick my elbows kind of in my abdomen, and send my feet back. All right. Then coming into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And back on through to seated. All right, it gets a little more gentle for a while. So, Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together, bringing your heels close. Close in towards your sit bones. This first one, we're opening up our feet like a book, sending our knees out to the side. And we're rocking our pelvis forward so our spine can extend out long, reaching our sternum, bringing our chin towards the mat. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, sit up, and now we're rounding. So exhale, pulling in the low belly, pulling in everything, keeping our feet open up, bringing our head down towards our toes. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift on up. And then we go ahead and cross our feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, come on through to seated. The next pose is Upavista Konasana. So your feet are just a little wider than your mat. Not much. Okay, you're rooting your sit bones down into the mat, extending through your inner legs, through the inner arches, reaching everything that way, and toes are coming up towards the ceiling. All right, reaching out long, finding the outside edge of our feet, reaching our extended spine, chin towards the mat, staying up as high as you need to honor your body. We're here for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Now, ideally, you would keep holding on here, and you would just inhale and magically float back. And some people teach that then you switch and you can reach on your toes. Okay, but that may not be available. So lean back onto your sit bones. Float your feet up. Find that balance. Reach your legs long, pointing your toes. Reaching through your long spine. Looking up, but gazing up past your nose. For 1, 2, 3, 4, remember strong legs, and 5. All right, without touching your feet down, you just cross it in. Inhale, lift up, and go back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And jump on through to seated. And you lay down. Feet together. Laying down. So this time, you're going to bring your hands down to your side. Sending your feet up towards the sky. Rolling over like in Halasana, but you're going to spread your feet apart and grab your toes here. All right? So you're grabbing your big toes, reaching your sit bones towards the ceiling, pulling ideally against your big toes to find that strength in your spine in your legs for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now on the inhale, you're going to find balance on your sit bones, like here, and then you're just going to land down. Now, this is one of those poses where a lot of people struggle. They bang their heels down or they bend their knees because they're afraid to. I encourage you to practice on some carpet so that you can play around with the feeling a little bit more safely. All right, so I have pretty big calves, so I have a nice little cushion here. But I'm also reaching back through my feet, okay? Reaching them back, reaching my heels towards the wall ahead of me so that my calves are sticking out farther than my heels. And then what's going to keep me from falling too far forward is reaching up through my spine. That's like my brakes, okay? That's going to control the movement. So as I fall forward, I'm going to reach my chest up towards the ceiling. Coming forward, you land a little bit softer and then come down. Inhaling, exhaling, and then go ahead and cross it in, lift up, and go back. That's it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And you guessed it, come on through to seated and lie down. All right. So remember that standing pose where we're holding our big toe? We're going to do it again here. So it's a little different when you do it on your back. And in some ways it's easier, and in some ways it's harder because it's meant to be more of a core work. So you're laying down, feet together. Inhale, lift your leg up. Find that toe. My toe is quite short, so I sometimes like to really help get those fingers around that toe. All right, this leg, you're going to stick this hand on top and try and ground that hip from coming up. On the inhale, no, so that's an inhale. Exhale, like a crunch, lifting up with your core. And you can help that by reaching this leg back towards that wall a little bit just to get you up. But then you're holding it here, you're looking towards your towards your toes or your ankle for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lower your head only, and then exhale, bring that leg out to the side. Still rooting this down, trying to bring this hip, connecting it to the body as you reach those toes out. And your head looks over your left shoulder for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, bring your leg back to center. On the exhale, bow forward, nice core. And then inhale, let that head come down. Exhale, let go of the toe. Inhale, other side. Hand here. Exhale, folding forward or lifting up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head lowers. Exhale, the leg out to the side. Trying to keep this hip down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head, leg back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift it down. And then exhale, lower your leg down. Okay, so the next exit out of this is a somersault called Chakrasana. And let's see if I can do it today. I'm going to scoot back so I don't crash. Well, I don't really have anything to crash into. All right. I used to be able to do a somersault on a balancing beam, but those days are long gone. So ideally you're going to somersault back, but rather than like I used to do on the balance beam, nice and tucked in, holding onto my little balance beam with my knees on the balance beam, you're going to land in chaturanga. All right, so if you don't do that, you can just rock forward and we're going to meet in chaturanga, maybe. Come on, Julie. All right, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come on through to seated, and then, you guessed it, lying back down. Okay, we're almost done. Just like before, we're going to lift our feet back up into like a plow pose. Going to grab our big toes. So it is, you go back, you inhale, you exhale. Well, to inhale, lift your feet back, exhale there, and then inhale, you're going to roll up and try and balance in like a forward fold, balancing on your sit bones, okay? And ideally, you're doing it with straight legs. So we'll see how it goes. Inhale, lift your feet back, grab your big toes. Exhale here. Inhale, come on up, find your balance. Sorry, this one's not forward fold. You're out here. All right, strong legs, reaching. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it all in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Back through to seated. We'll lie back down. Okay, this one, similar. Inhale, send those feet back. Now you're going to grab your heels. Okay, the top of your feet are on the mat. Exhale here. Inhale, rolling up. And that's supposed to be done with the straight legs. All right, and then exhale, fold it forward. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now this is like the inhale halfway lift. Exhale here, cross it in. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, go back. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And now come on through to seated. Okay, this last pose in the primary sequence is another one that I always sort of struggled with. So, easier on carpet. This is where begins our back bends. Now, it's called Setu Bandhasana. And so you come on through, ideally, laying down, feet together, and then he'll say prepare, or your teacher will say prepare. You prepare by kind of coming into sort of Charlie Chaplin feet, and then you lift up onto the back of your head. Okay, so you can do a bridge pose instead, or you can stay here. Okay, and you can breathe here for 5 breaths. All right, if you're going to come into the full pose, your hands cross here, and you just magically, I say magically because I struggle with it, lift up. But some options are, all right, this mat is a little floppy, is to hold here with a strong mat and use that traction to help get you up. Or you can come here because the balance on your neck is a little bit tricky. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, I thought I was going to get brave, but I'm not. And then the exit out of this is another Chakrasana. All right? Or you can roll forward and come on. Obviously, Not very graceful today. Ha. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming through to seated. And we lie down for our Urdhva Dhanurasana. So you lie down here. You wait till the instruction to prepare. This is where you're preparing. So we're going to push up to Urdhva Dhanurasana, hold for 5 breaths. When we come down in between the poses, you just touch your head down. You don't come all the way down to your back like this. Now obviously you're going to honor your body with wherever you're at. So if you don't have an Urdhva Dhanurasana practice, it's okay to do it in stages. You can just come into a bridge and do that instead. So you honor where your body's at and you do what you've been doing in your Mysore practice, okay? So you come down to the top of your head and then right away come up for the next one. Hold 5 more breaths and you repeat again before you come on down. So let's go ahead and coming up here. So this is a place you could hold. You can hang out here. Or if you're coming into the full pose, inhale up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Maybe walk your hands in a little bit. And then inhale. Up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Maybe you walk in your hands a little bit more. Coming on up. Trying to get my heels down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower all the way down. There's another chakrasana. I'm not going to do it. And roll up to seated. Step on back to chaturanga. Lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming back on through to seated. Lying down. Coming into shoulder stand. So you want to keep this curve, this natural curve of your neck there. All right. So you're going to send your feet up towards the ceiling, walking your hands up your back, and sending your feet up towards the sky. Active feet. Let's do 15 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice cramp in my foot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Coming into halasana, plow pose. So you're going to bring those toes down towards the mat overhead and interlace your fingers underneath your back, tops of the toes reaching towards the mat, sit bones reaching up towards the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Karnapadasana, ear pressing pose. Bring your knees, so bending your legs, bring your ears to squeeze. Bring your knees to squeeze your ears. Feet are together behind your head. We're here for 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming back up into shoulder stand, and then you're either going to come into lotus or you can actually just cross your feet. But if you have a lotus, right leg comes in first, then your left. Hands come to your knees or you hold your back. You send your sit bones up towards the ceiling, and ideally your arms are straight. And we're here for 8 to 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Folding forward for Pindasana, you bring your lotus down towards your chest and you hug it in. Maybe you bind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, rolling down. So we're rolling down, dropping, coming into Matsyasana, fish pose. So sending our lotus down towards the mat, using your elbows to get your chest up towards the sky with a nice little back bend here. And ideally you're grabbing the outside edge of your feet, reaching in. So now my elbows are off the mat, looking back behind me. Right, that was priority 2 breaths. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So keeping your back exactly how it is, you're going to straighten your legs and reach them up towards where your ceiling and the wall come together, and you're going to extend your hands in prayer in the same direction for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, lowering down. The exit out of this is also another chakrasana. And I'm not going to wait for you to, or have you wait for me to struggle to get over, because it's just not happening today. So roll on up and go back to your chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're coming into Shirshasana. So if you don't have a headstand practice, maybe you go to a wall if you don't have a stable headstand practice. But if you don't have a headstand practice, just do dolphin. Dolphin is more work and better for your shoulders to really get that strength than wobbling around and being unsafe and risking hurting yourself in a Shirshasana. So if you have a Shirshasana, go ahead and take that position. All right, so we're going to do 15 with our feet straight up, 10 halfway. Inhale, come on up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now you're going to lower your feet halfway. It's okay to bend your knees if your back doesn't want you to straighten your legs all the way. But ideally your feet are straight or your legs are straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Inhale, come all the way up to a headstand. Take a breath here. Take another breath here. And gently lower down, coming into child's pose. So lower your feet down, your knees down, and then just settle your bum back over your heels and extend your arms out. And go ahead and come back. Hands and knees, taking our chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come through to seated. Okay, I'm going to face you with these last 3 poses. Taking your lotus, we're coming into Sukhasana. Right leg comes in first, then your left. So my left leg is on top, so the left arm is going to come back. Reach for those toes. Remember, you can grab your elbows with your hands. Try and reach around for the other side. Take a breath here or 2. And exhale, fold forward, 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Inhale, coming on up, letting go of our feet. Our first finger and our thumb are coming together, other fingers coming together next to each other, draping our hands over our knees, sitting up tall, sternum coming up towards my chin and my chin dropping down in the direction of our sternum. 10 more breaths, gazing out over your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Last pose. This is the one where you lift up. Okay? You lift up for 10 breaths. Even if your bum doesn't come up off the mat, just keep holding, imagining you're lifting up, just working on it. You can be here and it's doing work, okay? So, with me, 10 breaths. I'll count relatively fast, so don't worry. I'm actually counting fast all day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you lower down, come back up. 7, 8, almost there. 9, and 10. Lower down. All right. Bring your hands into prayer. I'll do the closing chant. Inhaling. Om Swasti Prajabhyaha Palipalayantan Nayena Margena Mahi Shaha Go Brahmanebhyaha Shubhamastu Nyantan Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Now lay down, take rest, and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.